Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts, here to bring you this preliminary round contest from the 2022 MIAA Division I High School Boys Soccer State Tournament. Today's preliminary round contest pits the visiting 34th seeded Medford High Mustangs against the hosting 31st seeded Brookline High Warriors. Brookline managed to clinch their playoff spot in the last game of the season with a thrilling comeback tie on the road against rival Newton North, that one finishing in a 2-2 score. The equalizer scored by senior co-captain Oscar Kulkarni in stoppage time to clinch the tie, which gave Brookline enough points to elevate them from 33rd in the power rankings to 31st, which gave them a spot here in the tournament. Medford did not place in the top 32, which would normally disqualify them from the playoffs, but all teams ranked below 32 that finished with a winning record in the regular season earned a spot in this play-in round. And so here they are as the 34th seed facing off against Brookline. So the winner of this one, I believe, will be advancing to the round of 32 to take on the second seed in the tournament. Let me just double check my bracket here. Indeed, the winner of this game will go on to face number 2 seeded St. John's at St. John's in the round of 32 on Sunday. So it'll be a tough hill to climb for whoever advances past this round. But for now, the goal is simple: win, advance, and keep the season going. You can see Brookline here warming up in their blue jerseys with their white outline jersey numbers, sporting their traditional bleach blonde hair that they get for the postseason. It's become a yearly tradition for this Warriors program. Good bit of fun and a showcase of team solidarity. I've always enjoyed it. And then on the other side, in the white jerseys with black jersey numbers, we see the Medford Mustangs warming up. We are slated for a 2 p.m. start time, so we're about 6 minutes out. Reminder, as always, if you enjoy this live stream, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We've got more Brookline High playoff soccer action coming up on Sunday, as the girls soccer team, the 7th seed in their tournament, will be hosting their own round of 32 contest on Sunday at noon at Parsons Field. It'll be against the winner of the game, of the play-in game between Woburn and Medford. That play-in game, of course, for the girls being decided today, as well as this one here for the boys. Captains being called to the center to decide the opening possession here in the first half. Let's run through the rosters real quick for these two teams. And just in advance, if you guys notice me flubbing anyone's names, or if I've got some bad information on some names and jersey numbers, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. So looking at Brookline, first off, we have a senior number 1, Liam Sheldon. A junior number 2, Gabriel Spaggett. A senior number 3, Ethan Ghosh. A junior number 4, Jason Rabat. A junior number 5, Oliver Stern. A senior number 6, Marco Chernychev. A junior number 7, Danny Dokov. A senior number 8, Ellery Nisler. A freshman number 9, Nico Liteplo. A senior number 10, Toshiki Kobayashi. A junior number 11, Eamon Boschel. Kobayashi also one of the co-captains, as well as senior co-captain number 12, Julian Gravro. A junior number 13, Henry Ames. A senior number 14, Taj Horowitz. A sophomore number 15, A. Sebastian Cuervo. A senior co-captain number 16, Max Luby. A sophomore number 17, Grady Ames. A senior number 18, Sam King. A senior co-captain number 19, Oscar Kulkarni. A junior number 22, Liam Alcalay. A freshman number 23, Max Dalbianco. A freshman number 24, Wallace Lawrence. A senior number 25, Zaid Al-Fakari. A senior number 26, Nico Sever-Walter. A sophomore number 27, Jack Fitzgerald. A senior number 28, Roham Paslar. And a junior number 99, Jackson McGee. Head coach of the Brookline High boys soccer team is Kyle Bolu-Jones, with assistant coach Chad Pelton. That is the roster for the 31st seeded Brookline High Warriors. Two teams huddling up to get this one underway. Let's see if I can quickly go through the Medford roster here today. Again, in order of jersey number, first off, we have number 1, Oliver Lelechur. Number 01, Fionbar Makichern. Number 2, Joab Santos. Number 3, co-captain Ricky Gomez. Number 5, Will Kelly. Number 6, co-captain Matt Randazzo. Number 7, Jordan Iankiev. Number 8, Gabriel da Silva. Also listed as number 8, Oliver Klein. Number 9, Gift Lord Charles. Number 10, Mark Oli Julian. Number 11, Ryan Oliveira. Number 12, co-captain Beckett Shanahan. Number 13, Alex Pinto. Number 15, Robinson Mark. Number 16, Brandon Almeida. Number 17, Kevin Batista. Number 19, Sean Eisner. Number 20, Jovens Million. Also listed as number 20, Elias Watoiweni. Number 23, Peyton Berzinski. Number 25, Michael Pock. Number 26, Sandro Diavetta. Number 27, James Casey. Number 28, Jonathan Pineda. And number 29, Marcelo Oliveira. Head coach of the Medford High boys soccer team is Mike Petrides, with assistant coaches Cesar Silva, Serge Silva, and John Prestigiovanni. So that is the roster as it was given to me for the Medford High Mustangs. If there's anything I've got wrong in terms of either names or jersey numbers, and there are any Medford fans watching this stream, once again, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. You know, you may have heard we've got a couple of players listed with the same jersey number on there. So we'll do the best we can with what we have. And what we have is a typical gusty day here on the hill at Skyline Park. So even more than the opening possession of the half, the direction that the teams play in can have a huge impact on how the momentum goes throughout this contest. See the Brookline Warriors taking to the field. We see number 99, Jackson McGee, getting ready to take his spot between the pipes. We also see number 11, Eamon Boschel, number 10, Toshiki Kobayashi, number 8, Ellery Nisler, number 19, Oscar Kulkarni, number 7, Danny Dokov, number 14, Taj Horowitz, number 15, A. Sebastian Cuervo, number 2, Gabriel Spagat, and a few more that I haven't had a chance to spot yet as they're huddled up. And then over on the side of the Mustangs, we see them huddling up down on one knee over there. We're about ready to get this one started. There's a whistle from the officials. And there's the break of the huddle. Among some of the other players I didn't spot before, number 26, Nico Sever-Walter. And number 12, Julian Gravero, I also see in there. Like I said, we'll fill this in as we go. Opening possession to Medford, number 11, Ryan Oliveira in the middle, alongside number 7, Jordan Yenkiev, and we are underway. Pass goes back to number 10, further back to number 12, and booted high in the air. Knocked down by Spagat, passed up to Dokov. Dokov dribbling around, passes it back, being dribbled up the far side by Ellery Nisler. Long pass up to Taj Horowitz, but couldn't corral it. It is out of bounds. Throw in down the far side, knocked down, I believe, by Gravero. Number 10, Mark-Oli Julian had it for a second. Gravero knocks it away, gets it to Horowitz, who spins around to evade the defense, gets a pass away. Now Cuervo sends it to the far side to Kulkarni. Now a scrum for the ball, and it's won by the Mustangs. Pass goes to Yenkiev, and pass goes back to number 26. Now up to number 12. And pass knocked away from Yenkiev, taken by the Warriors. Cuervo sending a pass up to Kobayashi. Kobayashi manages to touch one back to Dokov. Dokov fakes, dribbles back, and passes it back to Spagat. Or no, Sever-Walter, excuse me. Now across to Nisler. Nisler's pass deflects off the foot of Gravero into open space. The wind carrying this ball a certain amount as it's blowing over here towards the near side. Kick from Dokov against the wind, booted away by number 23, recovered by Kulkarni. Kulkarni pass to the outside to Boschel. Boschel fighting to keep this one in bounds. He does. Passes across to Gravero. Gravero passes it back to Dokov, who touches it along to number 3, Ethan Ghosh. Now back again to Dokov. Dokov lifts it towards the box. No offsides call, but just out of reach of Gravero. That was a big chance for the Warriors, but just a little too far. Cuervo walls off this kick. Pass to the middle, broken up by Yenkiev, and that's booted out of bounds. So my mistake, I identified Nico Sever-Walter as Gabriel Spagat a couple times because I only saw the 2 on his jersey and I didn't see the 6. My mistake. Cuervo passes it up to Horowitz, tapped back to the middle. Dokov swoops in and takes it. Dokov fakes, turns around, passes across back to Cuervo. Cuervo pass to Kulkarni on the far side. Kulkarni fakes out a defender, now passes it back to Cuervo. Cuervo touches it back to Boschel. Boschel upfield to Kobayashi. And he can't stay with it. Yenkiev takes it back, pass, and that's going to go off the hand of Ghosh. He was sticking his hand out to keep his balance, and now the free kick is going to come from number 12, Beckett Shanahan. Shanahan boots this one way back, and it's booted away by Dokov after it deflected off the back of Severwalter. Throw in coming from number 26, Sandro Diavetta. Off the head of Yenkiev, off another head, bouncing along. Yenkiev centering kick, caught out of the air like a popped fly by Jackson McGee. McGee punts it, bouncing along, off a head, off another head, all the way back to the keeper. And because it went off the head, I guess he's able to grab it with his hands. Normally when it's passed back by your teammates, the goalie is not allowed to use his hands. Shanahan now kicks it back to the keeper, boots it, pressure was being applied by Horowitz, goes off the head of Dokov. And now Kobayashi manages to tap it through to Boschel, pass ahead Horowitz outside. Gravro fending off the defender. Gravro turning around, manages to get a pass back. Launched shot goes high from Kobayashi. Brookline, another great chance there. Maybe just one too many passes. As it's tapped in, sent to the outside to Diavetta. Pass up the middle to Shanahan. Knocked back to number 6. Outside to number 3. Winds up and boots it down the far side and out of bounds. That one off the boot of number 3, Ricky Gomez. Throw in. Controlled by Gravro, but knocked away from him, taken away by the Mustangs. Passed up the far side, another pass leading for Yenkiev, and he tries to lead, but nobody else is there, but he does draw a foul. So this is going to be a free kick coming once again from Shanahan. Pretty close to the net, big chance for the Mustangs. Shanahan kicks, high, goes off ahead, into the air, off another head, whiffed on the kick out of the air, and McGee takes it off the bounce, and it looks like they called either a foul or an offsides anyway against the Mustangs. Long kick from McGee, walled down, controlled by Gravro, pass up to Boschel, knocked away by Mark-Ole Julian. Julian kicks it upfield, and it's going to bounce along, and McGee is going to take it. Rolls it in to Severwalter. Severwalter kicks it up to Gravro, tries a pass, walled off. Good defense there by Gomez. Cuervo now corrals it. Pass back to Nisler. Nisler boots it high towards the near side. Skips past Kobayashi and out of bounds. Throw in to Shanahan. Shanahan passes back to Diavetta. Further back to Matt Randazzo. And now across to Gomez. Gomez kicks it upfield, cut off by Gravro. Gravro working up the far side. Wind is gusting here at Skyline, and I think they called a foul against Gravro. Free kick coming. Low kick bouncing along, kicked back by Cuervo, touched back by Julian, goes back to Randazzo. Further back, and a pass to the middle to Gomez. Gomez Just barely manages to get rid of it, sends it out to Diavetta on the near side. Kicked up the line, finds Yenkiev. And now knocked out of bounds, it's going to stay with Medford. And now the official talking to Kobayashi after he kind of put his hand up to slow down the throw-in from Diavetta. Now he throws it in, and not yet. Now Diavetta throws it in. Wind catches it and off the head of Severwalter, out of bounds. I now realize why I mistook Severwalter for Spagat, and that's because the front of Severwalter's jersey is just the number 2, but it's 26 on the back. Throw-in goes into the box off the head of Dokov. Off another head kick from Shanahan is walled off and deflects all the way back to Randazzo. His kick deflects off Cuervo. Cuervo tries to kick it, but it's taken back by Randazzo. Randazzo dribbling, passes to the far side, kick upfield, off ahead and into open space where it is chased down by Dokov. Dokov gets a bit of an opening. Now passes to the middle to Boschel. Boschel passes upfield. Horowitz cannot fend off Diavetta, and he passes it off to Yenkiev. Now back to Shanahan, kicked way upfield to number 11, knocked away by Nisler, taken by Cuervo. Cuervo passes it back to Boschel. Boschel swings it across to Gauche. Gauche back to Dokov. Dokov up the middle for Boschel, headed back to Dokov, but stolen away by number 9, Gift Lord Charles. Now stolen back by Severwalter, ricochets several different ways, touch back to Yenkiev. Kick up the field right to Gauche. Gauche boots it off ahead of Randazzo, now headed by Horowitz, controlled for a second by Kobayashi, but now taken by Julian. Julian kicks it upfield, booted back by Nisler. Taken now by Gravro. Gravro still dribbling, fakes a couple times, now gets around a guy. Gravro sends a pass ahead, just out of reach of a clean kick from Kobayashi, and it's scooped up by the keeper. Rifled into Charles. Charles kicks it up the near side. Gauche walls it off for a second and recovers it. In pursuit was number 11, Ryan Oliveira. Severwalter swings it over to Nisler on the far side. Nisler dribbling upfield, now a long leading kick. Deflects off ahead. And a whiffed on a header by Gomez. Now a leading kick for Kulkarni. Kulkarni kicks it. And it was touched last by the Mustangs. This will be a corner kick for Brookline. Good hustle by Oscar Kulkarni to just barely get his foot on that one and get the favorable deflection. Dokov now setting up in the corner to launch this one towards the box. The wind is going to play a huge factor on corner kicks. So he puts in a low kick. Pass goes back to Dokov. Dokov now lifts it towards the box. It's sailing, deflected back in by a back kick from Severwalter, but it's booted back out. Nisler tries to kick it back in, downed by Diavetta, and Diavetta lost control of it. It's out of bounds. A substitution now checking in for Brookline. He'll be replacing Taj Horowitz, trying to see the number. Oh, it's Wallace Lawrence. Throw-in deflects back to Kobayashi, but it's knocked out by Charles. So number 24, Wallace Lawrence, checks into the game, replacing Taj Horowitz. Kobayashi throws it in, and again, Charles knocks it right back out of bounds. Another throw-in, again off the foot of Charles, and that just barely stays ahead of the flag, in part probably due to the wind. Throw in from once again by Diavetta. Now this one tapped back, and Yenkiev manages to kick it up the line. Ghosh takes control of it, taken back by Oliveira, but then knocked loose by Ghosh, taken by Dokov, kept in bounds somehow, knocked out of bounds by Charles. Some great ball handling from Danny Dokov there to barely keep that one in bounds. We've got another substitution checking in for Brookline. Seeing the field for the first time is number 5, Oliver Stern. Throw-in is deflected out of bounds, stays with Brookline once again. Quick throw-in goes to Stern. Stern pass back to Cuervo. Cuervo, the crosser towards the box, bouncing along off the head of Lawrence, right to Gravro. Gravro shot saved! Gravro trying to stay with it, knocks it out to Cuervo. Cuervo, another centering kick. This one deflected away, booted out by Yenkiev. Corralled by Dokov. Dokov fires a shot. That sails over the bar. A doozy of a save by the Medford keeper, whose jersey number I don't quite see, so I'm not quite sure who it is. Medford now working it up the field. A long kick off the head of Nissler. And kick to the middle and taken back. Nissler boots it upfield to Stern. Stern pass back to Dokov. Dokov dribbling with it. Wrestled away by Yenkiev. Pass back to Julian. Julian kicks it upfield. Scrum for the ball won by Oliveira. Oliveira dribbling, fires, and that sails well wide, and that's going to be a goal kick for Brookline. Jackson McGee lining up for the goal kick now. Boots it high in the air. Bounces past Stern. Diavetta trying to box out. And that is going to be out of bounds, and that will go to Medford. Throw in from Diavetta to Shanahan. Shanahan pass back to Diavetta, further back to Randazzo. Randazzo passes it across to Gomez. Gomez boots this one. Bouncing along, taken by Nissler. Nissler kicks it upfield to Boschel. Boschel trying to fend off the pressure. Gets a pass across to Kulkarni. Kulkarni sends it back to Cuervo. Cuervo trying to fend off Oliveira. He does. Cuervo stays with the ball. Pass up the middle. Lawrence taps it to the outside to Stern. Stern dribbling, now sends the crosser, but the wind catches that one and sends it out of bounds. Like I said, the wind is going to play a role here today on the hill at Skyline. Randazzo pass to the outside to number 23, Peyton Brzezinski. Kick upfield, deflected and taken by Brookline. This is Cuervo. Cuervo pass up the middle, finds his target. That is Gravro. Now pass back to Cuervo, across to Dokov. Dokov dribbling around with it, tries to send a pass, intercepted by Julian. Julian boots it across midfield. Booted back by Nissler. Off the head, off another head, kicked up by Cuervo. Now headed up by Lawrence, now walled off by Gomez, and now we've got a whistle. And that's going to go against Brookline. This will be a free kick for the Mustangs. And a timeout is called by Medford. No score so far. Brookline has come close a couple of times, but a really nice save by the Medford keeper has thus far kept this game scoreless. See folks chatting in the live chat already. Couple of familiar names from last year's state championship Brookline team. I see Toby Prabhu-Schlosser and Tyler Mahoney in there. Good to see the alums keeping tabs on their old team. So out of the timeout we come. We'll see what kinds of adjustments are made out of that timeout. So this will be a free kick coming from Randazzo. There's the whistle, clock starts up again, and Randazzo sends a pass up to Brzezinski. Brzezinski dribbling along the far side, boots it upfield. And Nisler has to knock it out of bounds. This is going to be a corner kick for the Mustangs. Shanahan lining up to kick the corner kick. Once again, the wind is blowing. Shanahan decides to launch it anyway. Deflects wide and out of bounds, and that's going to be a goal kick for Brookline. Again, that gusting wind is going to play a role with every corner kick we see today. I mean, that's why Brookline opted to go for a low pass with their corner kick, because it can be just so tough. Credit to Medford, they almost made something out of it there. As this ball now deflects back and forth. Now Lawrence kicks it up to Gravro. Gravro tries to get a kick off there, kind of sliced it. Stern trying to stay with it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Diavetta. Throw in, gets to Gravro. Gravro, the crosser, shot, oh, walled off by Gomez. Booted back in by Nisler. Deflected down, Yenkiev takes it. Passes it back to Diavetta. Now across to Randazzo, back out to Diavetta, gets a kick upfield. Yenkiev controls it and draws a foul from Dokov. Free kick from Randazzo. Headed down by Lawrence, recovered by Shanahan. Now knocked away by Lawrence. Recovered again by Shanahan. Pass back. Now to the outside to Brzezinski, and now up to Shanahan. Knocked away again by Lawrence. And now Lawrence still bringing the pressure. Great pressure from Wally Lawrence as he takes that one away. It's kicked towards the middle. Gravro taps it up in the air. Off ahead. Gravro taps it back up, knocked right back. And now Brzezinski takes the loose ball. Kicks it upfield. And it's going to go all the way back to Sever Walter. Sever Walter boots it up the middle to Gravro, who taps it outside to Stern. Stern dribbling towards the middle. Sends a pass back to Dokov. Dokov kicks it up, knocked down. And now another ricochet, and it's taken by Yenkiev. Pass misses. Julian Lawrence launches that one to the moon. That's going to be well over the crossbar, and that's going to be a goal kick. Tapped in for Randazzo, who kicks it up to Brzezinski. Sent back to Gomez now. Gomez pass, broken up by Boschel. and knocked out of bounds, and that's going to be a corner kick for Brookline. Great pressure from Eamon Boschel and Wally Lawrence as Brookline keeps up the press. Dokov setting up for another corner kick. There's the signal. This one comes in the air, deflects down. Boschel! Is that in? It is in! Eamon Boschel manages to poke it across the goal line, and Brookline has the first goal of the game. That was one of those goals where it's like, did it break the plane? And the officials say it did. Count that goal by number 11, Eamon Boschel. I'm not sure if anyone else got the assist, but right now I would give the assist to number 7, Danny Dokov. 1-0 now the Brookline lead here in the first half. Shanahan's kick deflected away by Gravro. Gravro staying with it along the far side, and the wind blew that one away from him, and that's going to be a goal kick. Randazzo sends a kick to the near side to Diavetta, who sends it back to Randazzo. Up for Charles. Charles taps it back to Diavetta. Booted up in the air. Bouncing along. And Sever Walter struggling to corral it. It is taken by Oliveira. Oliveira off to the races. Dribbling around. Taps a pass back for Julian, who sends it across to number 5. And he gets taken down from behind by Dokov, and that's going to draw a foul call. Number 5, Will Kelly, drawing the foul there. And this is going to be a close-range free kick for the Mustangs. Potentially a costly defensive lapse by the Warriors as Oliveira lines up for this free kick. The wind continuing to gust here. It is blowing to Oliveira's left, although this kick might actually come from Shanahan. It is from Oliveira, pass to an open Charles. Charles, the crosser, deflects into the air, downed, tapped into open field, booted away by Lawrence. Gravro takes it, and Gravro's off to the races. Ball is wrestled away by Berzinski and passed to the middle to Shanahan. Sent back now to Gomez. Gomez sends it upfield to Julian. Julian staying with it. A foul called against Dokov for the push there. Free kick coming from Shanahan. Shanahan's pass knocked away by Lawrence. Stays in bounds. Shanahan kicks it now, booted away by Nisler. Bouncing into open field, it's taken by Stern. Stern trying to stay with it. Charles knocks it away, gets it to Kelly. Kelly up to Julian. Julian manages to get a pass over to Kelly and then back to Shanahan. Shanahan boots in the air, trying to lead for Charles down the near side. Charles tries the crosser, deflects off Gauche, and then Sever Walter boots it high in the air. And that is going to bounce out of bounds. Diavetta, the quick throw in for Shanahan. Shanahan boots that into the box, and that's just going to one hop over to McGee, who is just going to take it, and now he scoops it up. McGee rolls that one into Nisler. Nisler, pass back to McGee. McGee boots it high in the air. Bouncing along, Stern chasing after it. Stern stays with it. Pass up to Gravreau. Gravreau holding it and passing it back to Gauche. Now back up to Gravreau. Gravreau starting to dribble, gets tripped up by Julian and draws the foul. Looks like Gravreau and Dokov will be lining up around this ball. Either one could conceivably take this free kick. Okay, looks like Gravreau's moving off, and it will be Dokov taking the free kick. Once again, the wind gusting. Dokov just sends it over to Gravreau. Gravreau tries to kick, walled off by Diavetta. Recovered by Bochelle. Pass across to Dokov. Dokov spins on his man, launches it into the box, coming in high, deflected down, scrum for the ball, and they're going to call the foul on Brookline. Stern kind of ran over Berzinski there trying to get to the ball. Now, quick free kick into Diavetta, upfield to Charles, lost out of bounds. Substitutions coming in for Brookline. Looks like Toshiki Kobayashi and Taj Horowitz checking back into the game. Stern throws it in. Cuervo gets a foot on it, deflects out of bounds, stays with Brookline. Horowitz now getting ready to throw this one in. Headed out by Randazzo. Horowitz passes it back to Cuervo. Cuervo dribbling, kick to the middle. Lawrence deflects it back to the middle. Horowitz boots it in the air, but makes contact with a defender while doing so. That's going to be a foul call. Randazzo boots this one, and that's just going to curve out of bounds. Wind definitely caught that one. Throw in from Gauche. Deflects a couple times. Now Gauche takes control of it, stays with the ball. Still staying with it. Now sends a pass up to Stern along the near side. Stern has it knocked away, and that's going to go out of bounds and draw a corner kick. Defense coming from number 29, Marcelo Oliveira, as this now sets up a corner kick for the Warriors. This is going to be the first one coming from the near side, so Oscar Kulkarni is going to be kicking this one into the wind. Launches it in the air. Catches the wind, deflects off ahead, deflects several different ways, booted in the air, and boy, did that one catch the wind. That's going to curve right out of bounds. Quick throw in from Gauche to Kulkarni, deflected into open space. Gauche takes it. Gauche, slide tackle by Charles. It's deflected out of bounds, and it's going to be Medford ball. Substitution coming in for the Mustangs. Number 12, Beckett Shanahan, back into the game, as he'll be replacing number 9, Gift Lord Charles. Diavetta throws it in. Shanahan gets the favorable deflection and stays with Medford. Another throw in. Deflects out of bounds. This time it was off of Oliveira and out of bounds. Gauche throws it in for Cuervo. Cuervo wrestling against multiple defenders, and Shanahan takes it. Shanahan boots it upfield. Severwalter fails to get the pass across, and Oliveira's shot is launched wide. Ryan Oliveira had another golden opportunity, gifted to him by a bit of a slip-up by Nico Severwalter, who's had a couple of tough gaffes chasing down those leading kicks in open field. But now McGee lines up for the goal kick. High in the air this one goes. Knocked down. Cuervo kicks it upfield. Shanahan just going to box out and let it roll out. Shanahan throws it in. Yenkiev controls it, knocked out of bounds by Gauche. Throw in. Passed, and that's going to be well wide. Danny Dokov checking back into the game for Brookline, replacing, didn't quite see who checked out. Throw-in deflects into the air off of Shanahan, downed by Kobayashi. Kobayashi sends a leading kick for Horowitz. Horowitz tries to send a pass slightly wide. Gravro tried to corral it anyway. Gomez takes it away. Pass to Shanahan. Shanahan now passes it up to Kelly, back to Shanahan. Shanahan turns around, now boots it upfield. Headed by Severwalter. Kelly boots it up in the air, and that's going to curve and go out of bounds. No scoreboard clock here, so I can't tell you how much time is left here in the first half. It is a 1-0 Brookline lead off the goal from Eamon Boschel, assisted by Danny Dokov. McGee boots it, bouncing along. Horowitz tries to keep it in bounds, but cannot. Diavetta throws it in. Deflected and booted well out of bounds by Kobayashi. Diavetta throws it in off the head of Gauche and out of bounds. Diavetta the throw, and the wind is going to catch this throw in. And it looks like we've got a foul call. That's going to go against Yenkiev. Big gust blowing now as Severwalter sets up for the free kick. This one going up the middle. Kelly kicks it back. Now Gauche corrals it. Gauche boots a long one. Gravro downs it. Gravro dribbling. Moving up the outside. Crosser. Downed by Horowitz. Now taken by Stearns. Stearns shot. Easy save by the Medford goalie. I thought he had it for sure. And that's going to be another foul on Dokov. And the official giving a warning to Dokov after a couple of those collisions. Got to give credit to the Mustangs keeper. He's had a couple of really nice saves here in the first half to keep this a one-score game. Randazzo the free kick. Deflects off Dokov. Gauche manages to keep it in bounds and boot it upfield. Deflects off some heads, and now off the foot of Diavetta. Manages to kick it back to Randazzo. Randazzo corrals it. Dribbling, sends the pass up the near side to Shanahan. Shanahan, it's knocked back, and that's going to go out of bounds. Ghosh throws this one in. Horowitz keeps it in bounds, but the kick goes to Randazzo. Booted up in the air, and that's going to be a foul called against Sever Walter. Wrapped up a little too much when covering Yenkiev. Shanahan goes for a low kick, just passes it across. Now a long kick, and it's caught on the fly ball by Jackson McGee. McGee punts this one. Bouncing along, a race to the ball, and it has to be knocked away from Gravro. The keeper boots it high in the air. Hard collision, and Cuervo comes up with the ball. Cuervo sends a through pass to Gravro. Gravro trying to tap it along, recovered by Horowitz, but good defensive pursuit by Randazzo. They're still scrumming for it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Randazzo. Throw in, and it's booted out of bounds again, stays with Brookline. Dokov throws it in, swooping in for it is Liam Alcalay, sends in the crosser too far, off ahead, and it's grabbed by the keeper. Medford trying to work on the counterattack here. That pass is stolen, however, by Cuervo. Cuervo pass to Gravro. Gravro winds up and kicks it, saved by the keeper. Rolls it into Brzezinski. Brzezinski pass. Now Gomez sends it out to Shanahan on the near side. Shanahan's pass to the middle finds Marcelo Oliveira. Now back to the near side to Shanahan. Knocked away by Ghosh. Deflected back to Ghosh. Ghosh looking around, surveying, pass to the middle to Kobayashi. And that's going to be a foul against Marcelo Oliveira. Nico Sever-Walter lining up for this free kick. Boots this one high towards the box. Off ahead. Kobayashi sends in a crosser, headed by Horowitz, but taken off one hop by the keeper. Rifles it into Shanahan. Shanahan kick gets away from him out of bounds. Ghosh with a quick throw in, gets it to Gravro. Knocked out of bounds by Marcelo Oliveira. Dokov throws it back to Ghosh. Ghosh dribbling, taps it back to Dokov. Dokov sends it to the middle to Kobayashi. Kobayashi pass out to number 22, Liam Alcalay. Now past the outside to Kulkarni. Kulkarni sends it in the box, and it's caught like a fly ball in the outfield by the keeper. Boots this one high, bouncing along, and Ghosh corrals it. Ghosh now boots this one, goes off the head of Diavetta, and that's going to go out of bounds. Quick throw in from Horowitz to Alcalay. Alcalay tripped up by Marcelo Oliveira, and that's going to be a free kick just outside the box. And a timeout is called by Brookline so they can set up this play. Again, with no scoreboard clock, hard to tell how much time is left in the first half. But you got to imagine we're heading towards the later stages. Looks like we got some more members of last year's team. I see Evan Gattel and Ezra Kornmeyer. I also see one of the girls' soccer players, Eleanor Bergstein, who will be competing on Sunday in the round of 32 of the girls' tournament against the winner of today's Woburn-Medford game. As we get ready for this one, 1-0 the Brookline lead, goal scored by Eamon Boschel off of a corner kick by Danny Dokov. Was just barely tapped across the line. It was like one of those scores where you gotta check and see if it broke the plane. Very close, but it was a goal. And now Brookline setting up in a bit of a no man's land spot on this free kick, as it's just outside the box, so it's going to be really hard to angle this around that wall of defenders. See Dokov and Kobayashi. Dokov just kicks it low, misses just wide. So a quick goal kick goes to Diavetta, passed up to Shanahan. Shanahan back to Diavetta. Diavetta boots it across midfield. And Yenkiev manages to keep it in bounds, staying with it. Yenkiev still racing with it, fires a shot, and the wind might have caught that one, as that one sails well wide. And that is going to end the first half. Your score at halftime: the Brookline Warriors 1, the Medford Mustangs 0. At this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among the Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And remember, as always, you can find that same information, the website, the phone number for our local charity spotlight down in the description section down below. But for now, the score: Brookline 1, Medford 0, here at halftime of this preliminary round contest in the 2022 MIAA Division I High School Boys Soccer State Tournament. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live at Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. I'll be going off the mic for a bit, but I'll be back with the second half of this contest. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. Excuse me. Here to give you coverage of this preliminary round contest from the 2022 MIAA Division I Boys Soccer State Tournament. This contest between 31st seeded Brookline and 34th seeded Medford. The home team Brookline nursing a 1-0 lead as we head into the second half. The lone score of the game coming from number 11, Eamon Boschel. The assist coming from number 7, Danny Dokov. But Brookline had a wealth of opportunities to score in that first half. Got to give credit where it's due to the Medford defense and their keeper, who have done an excellent job of keeping them in this game despite Brookline really sort of dominating the possession battle and keeping up a lot of offensive pressure. And for Brookline, the game plan in the second half has got to be simple. Don't rest on your laurels. Keep up that offensive pressure. Keep the ball on Medford's side of the field. And for Medford, the key has got to be to get some more of those counterattacks. They had a few nice counterattacks going in that first half that just didn't quite finish. And so Brookline will take the opening possession of the second half after the two teams switch sides. You see number 14, Taj Horowitz, getting ready to kick this one. There's the whistle, and here we go. Horowitz passes it back to Danny Dokov. Stolen away by Yenkiev. Yenkiev tried to push it, but he's walled off by Nico Severwalter. Deflected ball controlled by Oscar Kulkarni. Passed up to A. Sebastian Cuervo. Now back out to Kulkarni. Kulkarni lost it to Yenkiev. Now took it back and then tripped up as number 17, Kevin Bautista, drew that penalty. Fantastic forward pressure to start from number 7, Jordan Yenkiev, who's been everywhere so far today. Now number 12, Beckett Shanahan, lining up for the free kick. This one deflects high in the air, bouncing off the head of Cuervo. Shanahan kicks it, and Yenkiev wrestles it away. Still dribbling with it, passes it back to Shanahan. Shanahan kicks it into the box, booted away by Dokov. Kicked back by Marcelo Oliveira, and now booted away by Severwalter. And now we got a foul call against Medford as they went over the back. Free kick coming for Brookline. Looks like it's going to be taken by Severwalter. This one sails in high, deflects down. Boschel kicks it, but that's going to two-hop into the arms of the keeper as he rifles it into Shanahan. Shanahan boots it up, deflected down, and corralled now. Sebastian Cuervo pushing with it. Cuervo staying with the ball. Now it's knocked away by number 3, Ricky Gomez, knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Brookline ball. Kulkarni throws it in, knocked back to Kulkarni. Kulkarni dribbling with it, tries a centering kick, walled off by Marcelo Oliveira. And that one bounced out of bounds, and that's going to be a corner kick. A corner kick is how Brookline got their goal in the first half. And once again, Dokov setting up to kick this one in. Dokov sends it in the box, deflects off a head, and that one is in! Off the head of Julian Gravro! Dokov with his second assist on the corner kick. As that goes off the head of the co-captain Julian Gravro. And Brookline takes the 2-0 lead. The insurance goal for Brookline gives them a cushion to work with here. Up now by 2 scores here in the second half. Pass goes all the way back to Matt Randazzo, who boots it upfield, deflects over to Shanahan. Shanahan comes around, kicks it towards the box, deflecting along. Corralled by Batista. Batista's kick is knocked out of bounds by Toshiki Kobayashi. Throw in coming from Brzezinski, deflects off ahead. Juicy chance for Medford, and it's saved by McGee. I think that was Mark Ole Julian who managed to get a foot on it to send it towards the box. But good reaction by McGee as he punts this one away. Deflects over to Kulkarni, who puts it up in the air. Off the head of Brzezinski and out of bounds. Kulkarni throws it back to Boschel, to the middle to Cuervo. Cuervo across to Dokov. Dokov up to Boschel. Boschel give and go, broken up. Randazzo kicks it upfield. Corralled by Ienkiev. Pass upfield, and nobody there. That's just going to roll out of bounds. Nisler throws it in to Kobayashi, tap to the middle. Kulkarni takes it, tripped up by Marcelo Oliveira, and that's going to draw the foul. Looks like they're setting up Ellery Nisler to take the free kick this time. This one comes in high in the air. Deflects into open space, booted away by Brzezinski. Kulkarni throws it in. Gravro. Pass to Kobayashi, now back to Kulkarni. Kulkarni, centering kick, knocked away by Randazzo, bouncing along. And Nisler booting it, and couldn't keep it in bounds. That'll be Medford ball. We got a sub checking in now for Medford. This is number 9, Gift Lord Charles, as he'll be replacing Kevin Batista. Throw in from Brzezinski, off the foot of Kulkarni and out of bounds. Brzezinski throws this one in. Deflected down. Ienkiev trying to fight off multiple defenders. Can't do it, and it's taken by Cuervo. Cuervo boots it up, finds Gravro. Gravro sending a leading kick. Off to the races. Taj Horowitz, a foul is called. Got too tangled up with Randazzo And they blow the whistle against Horowitz. This will be a free kick for the Mustangs. Booted across midfield. Taken now by Ryan Oliveira. Pass taken away by Sever Walter. Passed over to Ethan Gauche. Gauche boots it across midfield. Gravro, some good ball handling there. Trying to stay with it, can't do it. Knocked away by Gomez. Gets it up to Julian. Julian's pass off the mark, and Gauche is, whoa, hard collision there near the sideline as Charles was racing to try and keep that one in bounds. And it's a throw-in. Brookline thought it was going to be a foul call after the trip, but I guess maybe it went out of bounds first. Gauche throws it in, deflects out of bounds. Medford ball. Throw in. Off the head of Sever Walter, and a foul now called against Medford. Sever Walter lining up to take this free kick. This one comes in high, and it's booted away by Diavetta. Yenkiev taps it over for Charles. Charles boots it across midfield, downed by Sever Walter, but corralled by Ryan Oliveira. Sends a leading kick for Yenkiev. Yenkiev charging in, centering kick. Nobody quite there. Shanahan trying to swoop in and take it, but he cannot. And it's forced out of bounds by Kulkarni. Quick throw in, back to Brzezinski. Stolen away by Kulkarni. Kulkarni gets it upfield and draws the foul. They got Nissler setting up for the free kick. Boots this one upfield. Curving, and it goes off ahead and out of bounds. Got a couple subs checking in now for Brookline. Number 5, Oliver Stern back into the game. And number 24, Wallace Lawrence. As they replace Taj Horowitz and Toshiki Kobayashi. Throw into Gravro, pass up to Cuervo, back to Gravro. Gravro kicks it just over the bar. Almost a really well-placed kick there from Julian Gravro. Would have been his second goal of the game. Passed up to Charles, but couldn't corral the pass, and it's lost out of bounds. Quick throw-in. Off the head. Charles tries to kick it away. It goes back. Pass taken by Marcelo Oliveira, but a foul is called against Medford as Charles tripped up Dokov. Free kick from Dokov. Sails wide. Again, that wind playing a role there. But what a day so far for Danny Dokov. 2 assists on the corner kicks. Pass up to Marcelo Oliveira. Gets a pass across to Julian. Now to the near side to Shanahan. Shanahan to the middle. Hard collision, and they are going to blow that whistle against Cuervo. Free kick from Shanahan. Deflected into open space. Race to the ball is won by Diavetta and booted out of bounds. This one kicked across, bouncing through. Corralled by Brzezinski, pass off the mark, stolen away by Stern. And Brzezinski runs over Stern. Pass now from Kulkarni to Boschel. That pass broken up by Yenkiev, but pass from Marcelo Oliveira stolen by Kulkarni. This pass stolen back by Marcelo Oliveira, passed up to Ryan Oliveira. Had a little trouble dribbling it along, but gets a pass to Shanahan. Centering kick taken away by Cuervo, passed over for Dokov. Dokov dribbling with it, turning around and passing it back to Gauche. Upfield to Gravro. Gravro still dribbling with it. Turns around and passes it to the far side. Now a long kick from Gauche. A little too long. And Brookline was hoping for a foul call, did not get it as Shanahan pass walled off by Kulkarni. Kulkarni tripped up by Shanahan. And that's going to be a yellow card against Beckett Shanahan. So Shanahan going to come out of the game. It looks like he'll be replaced by number 5, Will Kelly. Nisler, the free kick. Walled by Randazzo and booted away. Could not be kept in bounds by Oliveira. Kulkarni throws it into Gravro. Gravro, nice pass back to Kulkarni. Kulkarni now dribbling. Kulkarni off to the races. And finally walled off by Gomez. Pass out goes right to Boschel. Boschel dribbling. Taps it back to Gravro. Gravro fakes. Tripped up and it's knocked away by Marcelo Oliveira. Up to Ryan Oliveira. Long leading kick. McGee comes out of the box. Tries to knock it away. Juicy chance for Yenkiev. Nisler the only one on defense, but defends him just enough where he couldn't send in a kick, and it's taken by McGee. McGee now boots it across midfield. Gravro taps it to the outside to Dokov. Dokov starts dribbling with it, knocked away by Charles. Into open field where Gravro sends a pass to the outside, finds the open man. Dribbling in, firing a shot. Wally Lawrence with the goal! The freshman with his first career playoff goal. Assisted by Julian Gravro. Just some great ball movement there by Brookline. Mark that as a goal for Wallace Lawrence, assisted by Julian Gravro. 3-0 now the Brookline lead here in the second half as Shanahan comes back into the game after serving the yellow card. Randazzo boots this one off the head of Gauche, kicked away by Cuervo. Dribbling up with it. A pass out to Dokov. Dokov now booting it up in the air. Off the head of Brzezinski. Bounces back to Dokov. And a hard collision with Charles. As I believe we see on the field for Brookline for the first time is number 28, Roham Paslar. So this will be a free kick for Brookline after that collision. as it looks like, I think it's Gauche setting up to kick this one. Gauche boots it high in the air. Off the head of Julian, I believe. Now Cuervo controls it, sends a pass back to Nisler. Nisler passes further back to McGee, who pops it high in the air. Off the head of Julian. Nisler. Now Julian boots it, and that's going to sail way out of bounds, and that'll be a goal kick. 3-0, the Brookline lead. Goals from Eamon Bochel, Julian Gravreau, and Wallace Lawrence. 2 assists from Danny Dokov and 1 assist from Gravreau. McGee boots this one. Headed down. Deflects in the air, and we got a foul call against Brookline. And we've got a timeout now called by Medford. So Brookline did a great job keeping up their offensive pressure, got a goal early in the second half off another corner kick. A nice header from Julian Gravreau coming off a really nice corner kick from Danny Dokov, who registered his 2nd assist of the day. And then off a long leading kick, Gravreau had space to work and sent a pass to the freshman Wally Lawrence, coming down the far side, and Lawrence just had plenty of real estate to dribble and then just fire a shot that found the back of the net for the 3rd goal of the game. So again, no clock here. I can't tell you how much time we got left in this one, but Brookline with a fairly comfortable lead at this point, up 3 goals here in the preliminary round. And now just trying to hold that lead and punch their ticket to the round of 32, where the winner of this game will face off against St. John's, the 2nd seed in the tournament. Out of the timeout we come. It's going to be a free kick for the Mustangs. Couple fakes now. The kick from Ryan Oliveira deflects high in the air. And Cuervo does a nice job boxing out Yenkiev to force the out of bounds. Kulkarni throws it in, corralled by Cuervo, and that one is going to go out of bounds. Brzezinski throws it in up the line off the head of Kulkarni, off the head of Oliveira. Yenkiev taps it back to Julian. Julian fakes, dribbles, shoots, and it's caught out of the air by McGee. Punts this one, catches the wind, bouncing along. Still bouncing now off ahead, tapped into the air off the head of Charles. Julian chasing this one down, kicks it up, leading for Shanahan. Knocked away by Nisler. keeps it in bounds, but Shanahan takes it, passes it back to Marcelo Oliveira. Attempted centering kick is booted away by Cuervo. Looks like I missed another Brookline substitution. Number 17, Grady Ames, out on the pitch for the first time today. Throw in from Brzezinski. Off ahead. Knocked back to Brzezinski, who pops it up in the air. Off the head of Sever Walter. Corralled by Charles. Charles taps it to the middle. Only one able to get it is Kulkarni. Deflects, now booted away by Dokov. Off the head of Lawrence. Gomez takes it, boots it away. Downed by Nisler. Swooping in and taking it is Julian, but slipping on the ball. It's recovered by Ryan Oliveira, passed out to Shanahan, centering crosser, headed away by Sever Walter. Corralled now by Paslar. Pass up to Lawrence. Lawrence dribbling around, passes it back to Sever Walter. Now up to Dokov. Dokov loses the ball. Very physical defense. Oliveira passes it up to Yenkiev. Centering pass stolen away by Cuervo. Long kick deflected. Paslar taps it along, but then it's knocked away by Gomez. Stern pops it in the air, chases it down. Pass off the mark, taken by Shanahan. Shanahan's kick ricochets several ways. Marcelo Oliveira trying to push it upfield. Kick ricochets off Kulkarni. Now Shanahan, the crosser, controlled by Yenkiev, forcing it through. Ryan Oliveira fires a shot, and it's knocked out. No, the shot just missed wide. McGee, they're saying, did not touch it. Couldn't get a clean boot on that one, as that was a really big chance for Oliveira. Now McGee boots this one off the head of Ames, off the boot of Dokov, walled off by Gomez, kicked upfield, deflects, controlled by Yenkiev, centering kick, nobody there. And that one's just going to keep rolling and go out of bounds. That'll be Brookline ball. Another couple subs. Checking in now for Brookline. I see number 18, Sam King. And it looks like number 11, Eamon Boschel, returns to the field. Throw in from Kulkarni. Headed down by Julian. Kulkarni trying to work it upfield. Kicked away by Brzezinski. Julian taps it back for Marcelo Oliveira. Kick deflected. Cuervo boots it upfield. Off the head of Gravro. Gravro off to the races. Randazzo boots it away. Downed by Boschel now. Boschel dribbling. Launches one, and that one is well high and wide. Boschel was trying to register his second goal of the game here, but well off the mark on that one, and now we got a whistle. Maybe another substitution. This will be a goal kick now for Medford. And now we've got a substitution coming in for Medford. Number 17, Kevin Batista, replacing Marcelo Oliveira. Keeper kicks it, bouncing along. Off the foot of Cuervo, off the head of Ames. Now Cuervo sends a pass, finds Ames. Ames passes it up to Gravro. Gravro sends a pass through to King, and it's knocked away from King, but Ames fires a shot walled off. Randazzo now clears it out. And hard collision out of bounds, and that's going to be Medford ball. Brzezinski now setting up for the free kick. Boots this one. Off the head of Shanahan, booted away by Sever Walter. Deflecting, and now Cuervo kicks it upfield. Deflects off Gomez, corralled by Charles. Charles kicks it upfield. Deflects back, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Medford ball. Marcelo Oliveira checks back into the game, replacing Kevin Batista. Gomez throwing this one in. Deflects into open space, booted high in the air, off ahead, again into open space, and a foul is called. And it looks like it's a foul against Brookline, so this is going to be a free kick just outside the box for the Mustangs. And again, we see a free kick in a bit of a no man's land situation just outside the box. The defense is able to put up a wall. Makes it very hard for the free kicker to find an angle to the back of the net. Tapped, kick, walled off by Kulkarni, now a hard ricochet. Still scrumming for it. Charles manages to get a foot on it, but it just one-hops over to McGee, and now he scoops it up. McGee punts it. Bouncing along, headed away by Brzezinski, off the head of Kulkarni now. And that is going to be boxed out and rolled out of bounds. Brzezinski throws it in, off the head of Kulkarni, off the head of King, off the head of Oliveira, off the head of Ames, off the head of Oliveira again, off another head. Now Brzezinski boots it away. Now knocked into open space. Oliveira's pass intercepted by Kulkarni. Kulkarni dribbling through, knocked away by Yenkiev. He boots it in the air, and it's taken out of the air by McGee. McGee kicks it across midfield, and that's going to be a foul call against Gomez for coming over the back of Gravro. Gauche boots this one. Off ahead. Downed. Oliveira boots it out of bounds. Boschel goes to throw it in, but they got to wait for a substitution. Replacing Roham Paslar is number 13 for Brookline, Henry Ames. Boschel passes back to Sever Walter. Sever Walter kicks it upfield, deflected, and Yenkiev passes it back to Gomez. His kick deflected into the air by Gravro, and that's lost out of bounds. Brookline ball. Henry Ames throws it in, but didn't bring his arms all the way back. That's a throw-in violation. Another throw-in. Scrumming for the ball. Charles coming out with it, going down the far side. Pass. Misses the target, saved by McGee. Sorry, that was horrible timing for my sinus stacked up like that. My apologies. McGee now punts it. Now Cuervo downs it. Cuervo boots it upfield off the head of Randazzo. Bochelle taps it upfield. King taps it back to Gravro. Gravro now taps it over to Kulkarni and back to Gravro. Gravro dribbling, gets tripped up and draws the foul. And Gravro not getting up right now. Here's hoping this is, you know, just a cramp or something or what. Trainer coming out now as Gravro pulled up, and he is a bit hobbled, but he is walking off on his own power. So hopefully he'll be okay. As Brookline brings in number 27, Jack Fitzgerald, to see the field for the first time today. As Bochelle lines up for this free kick. Bochelle sends it in low, and it's going to be scooped up easily by the keeper. Punted across midfield, deflected back. Julian kind of whiffs on the kick there, and it's corralled by Bochelle. Long pass back to Nisler. Nisler across midfield, off the head of Marcelo Oliveira. Cuervo downs it, manages to get it over to Kulkarni. Kulkarni scrumming with Oliveira for it, and Kulkarni gets it away to Cuervo. Cuervo. Pass to the far side to Gauche. Upfield, off the mark, taken by Julian. Julian, long leading kick, deflects, and now it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Medford. Berzinski getting ready to throw this one in. Deflecting along. Centering kick, still ricocheting back and forth inside the box, and now it's corralled by McGee. McGee boots this one across midfield. Off ahead, collision, and it's taken by Julian. Julian passes up the far side, knocked away by Gauche. And a foul call against Medford. No card, but verbal warning to Julian. We've seen quite a number of very physical plays from both teams here today. Make no mistake, this is playoff soccer. Oh, and it looks like we got another injured Brookline player. This is Ethan Ghosh being checked on by the trainer. Pulled up to his feet, looking a little hobbled. Again, hopefully nothing long term, as if this current score holds, Brookline's season will continue into the round of 32 against St. John's on Sunday. The free kick deflects down. Henry Ames trying to race it up the far side, and he gets knocked off his feet by Charles. And that is going to be a yellow card. No, it's going to be a red card. That's going to be a red card against Gift Lord Charles. So very physical play here late in the second half, with Brookline holding on to a 3-0 lead as they now get ready for this free kick. I believe that is Toshiki Kobayashi lining up to take this free kick for Brookline. Kobayashi launches it into the air, off ahead the wrong way. Sam King had a chance at that one, but header came off on the wrong angle, and now it will be a goal kick. Booted upfield, corralled by Shanahan. Keeps it in bounds, knocked away by Kulkarni. Taken away by Brzezinski, out of bounds, Brookline ball. Quick throw in for Kulkarni. Kulkarni coming in from the near side, losing his footing and losing the ball out of bounds. Goal kick. Taken by Yenkiev. Kick is knocked away by Sever Walter. Ryan Oliveira racing it down, passing it back to Gomez, who boots it high in the air, slightly deflected. Now goes off ahead, all the way back to McGee, who picks it up. McGee rifles it in. Booted up by Cuervo. And it's corralled by King. Sam King passes for Bochelle. Bochelle fires a shot, and that's going to be high and wide. Subs checking in. Kick. Bouncing along. Pass. Corralled by number 24, but that pass wrestled away by Kulkarni. Now 24 tries to send in a crosser, walled off. Oliveira takes it back. Knocked out of bounds off, I believe, Kobayashi. So number 24, that is Michael Puck, seeing the field for the first time for Medford. Brzezinski lining up for the corner kick. This one comes in high, catches the wind, deflected down and out of bounds. And that's going to be a goal kick for Brookline. McGee boots it off the head of Kelly. Racing with it, firing a shot. That's going to bounce well wide and roll all the way out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Brookline. Throw in off the head of King. King keeps working it up the near side. Sam King sends a pass up to Henry Ames. Ames sends it out to the far side. Finds Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, the crosser, off the mark and out of bounds. More subs coming in now. For Brookline, now Gabriel Spaggett checks into the game, as does number 4, Jason Rabat. Goal kick into the air, off the head of Kobayashi. Now off the head of Spaggett. Now Pock passes it back for Brzezinski. Brzezinski pops it high in the air. Now number 8 boots it high in the air into open space. Deflected, and Grady Ames pops it high in the air. Downed by Rabat. Pass to the middle to Bochelle. Bochelle taps it over to Grady Ames. Now back to Kobayashi. Kobayashi launches it forward, deflected away by Brzezinski. Now taken by Kulkarni. Kulkarni turns around and passes it back to Spaggett. Spaggett sends it back to Nisler. Nisler dribbling. Now sends a leading kick. Past the defender, shot walled off by the keeper. Sam King almost had it there. Great pass from Nisler. And this will set up a Brookline corner kick. You know, it's kind of a shame that this Medford keeper is going to go on the record with 3 goals allowed, because he's made some fantastic stops here in this game. Kulkarni going to line up to take this corner kick. Kulkarni pops it up in the air, and Ames couldn't quite get his foot on that one. Pock slides and controls it. Pass up to number 8, pass back to Marcelo Oliveira. Further back to Brzezinski, kick upfield off the head of Nisler, downed by Marcelo Oliveira. Deflected into open space, and it deflects to Nisler. Nisler now taking off and dribbling with it. Nisler staying with it, now fires a kick, and it's taken off 2 hops by the keeper. We've got an injured Mustang down. This is Marcelo Oliveira. As Oliveira also looking hobbled as he comes off the field. So it looks like this is going to be a drop ball. Booted up. Passed over to Spaggett. Upfield to King, who taps it over for Grady Ames. Trying to push it upfield. Brzezinski cuts him off. Kick goes up to number 8. 8's kick to the middle, deflected. King tries to launch one, but it's walled off by Randazzo. Corralled by Kobayashi. Pass goes back to Spaggett, now up to Kobayashi. This pass broken up by number 8, kicked upfield. Deflected and taken by 19, and Spaggett came over the back of him, and that's going to be a foul call. Randazzo kicks it up to Brzezinski. Brzezinski pops it high in the air, off a couple heads and out of the box. Booted right back, deflected down. Brzezinski corrals it again, launches it, and that's going to one-hop into the arms of McGee. McGee punts this one along, deflected upfield by Kulkarni, but that's just going to roll out of bounds. Brzezinski throws it in, bouncing along, and that's going to be out of bounds, go back to Brookline. Spaggett throws it in, deflected down, and poked away. Ames tries to kick it, deflected out of bounds. It's going to stay with Brookline. In the live chat, I see another familiar name saying simply, "What's up, Jesse?" from Andrew Alexienko, as King tries to launch that one wide, and it's taken by the Medford keeper. Alexienko, of course, one of the big stars of last year's Brookline boys basketball team. Good to see you tuning in, Andrew. Oh, this pass is errant. Shot is saved by McGee, as that was almost a costly mistake by the Brookline back line. Almost a gimme chance for number 19, Sean Eisner. Now Boschel working it upfield. Boschel dribbling, tries a pass, walled off by Brzezinski and booted away. Grady Ames trying to wrestle this ball away, gets the kick over to Kobayashi. And there's your triple whistle. Brookline advances to the round of 32. The final score, the Brookline Warriors 3, the Medford Mustangs 0. Brookline takes care of business here in the preliminary round, showing that, record isn't necessarily everything. Brookline finished the regular season with about 3 wins. I think Medford had about 8 to clinch a winning record and a spot in this play-in round. But Brookline takes this one handily by a score of 3-0. We had 1 goal in the first half, scored by Eamon Boschel off a corner kick from Danny Dokov. Early in the second half, Brookline got the insurance goal off a header from Julian Gravreau, assisted by another corner kick from Dokov. And then the third goal came from the freshman Wally Lawrence, assisted by Gravreau. So pretty good day for Brookline as they advance to the round of 32. They will face the second-seeded team, St. John's, on the road on Sunday. But for now, for this game, that is going to do it. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We got Brookline girls soccer in the round of 32 coming up on Sunday at noon at Parsons Field, as the 7th-seeded Brookline girls will take on the winner of the play-in game between Woburn and Medford. So be sure to stay tuned for the upcoming live stream. Subscribing to the channel can help. If there's anything you'd like to say and the live stream is already over, I encourage you to say it in the comments section down below. And thank you all for those of you who participated in the live chat today. It's great to see so many people chatting there and enjoying the game. Also be sure to go down below to the description section to find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. Find out about the many great grants and causes they promote and how you can help to support our town's educators and through them our students. Check out the bottom right corner of the screen. You'll see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sportscasting services that I provide, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team or player. Below that, my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. If you just want to contact me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And then below that, the URL to my Instagram account, instagram.com/jgms88. Follow me on Instagram where you can see me post highlights from previous live streams. For example, you can expect the trio of goals scored by Brookline here today to be posted on my Instagram in the next day or two. So be sure to follow me on Instagram for that. But for today, that is going to do it from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. The final score, Brookline 3, Medford 0. Brookline advances to the round of 32. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.